This weekend began like so many others, at the airport catching the metro into town. Join us for a couple of fun days in Lisbon. Our first full day in Lisbon is going to be a busy one, and we're going to start it by leaving Lisbon itself. We're heading here to the beautiful Rocio station, the former Central station in Lisbon, to catch a train out to the little town of Sintra. The train turned out to be somewhat unexpectedly festive. From the train station in Sintra, it's a short, pretty walk over to the historic center of town. From the town of Sintra, we took the bus up to the sprawling grounds of the Palacio de Pena, and from there, caught another small shuttle bus up to the gates of the actual palace. Built in the 19th century, the palace is a great example of exuberant Portuguese romanticism. Just about every room and courtyard is a different color or a different style.
Hey, did King Carlos painted these? King Charles does watercolors? Must be a thing. Are they all shells? I think they are.
No, there's shells and rocks.
The palace has a telephone room. So good. We're told the views are pretty, and we imagine that they probably are.
A little hazy for the view.
Heading back to Lisbon, we'll have a little bit of time in town, and then it's off to the airport to pick up Alyssa, who's joining us for this weekend. A few years ago, Lisbon spent a couple of million euro installing cork seats in all their metro trains. Reasonably comfortable and apparently durable. Can't beat it. This morning begins with Alyssa on a tour with Christina Duarte, who, if you're a Rick Steves viewer, may
Something
recognize.
that makes part of our tradition.
Yeah.
They wanted to decorate the buildings. They live they do business together, but they don't.
Though the narrow streets of Alfama are largely given over to tourism these days, this art installation celebrates the locals, whose home it is that we're visiting. The tour continues with the best pastels de nata so far. Great street art by Super Linux and Bordalo 2. The remains of decaying churches. And finally, this park with a beautiful view over the city. We're making our own dinner tonight with a cooking class at Cooking Lisbon. Our class must have made almost a dozen dishes, but we had a great instructor who kept it fun, kept it informative, and kept things moving. This morning we headed over to the west side of town to check out Ajuda and Belem.
That's great.
The Palacio da Ajuda was the last royal residence of the Portuguese monarchy until the 1910 Republican Revolution that abolished the monarchy in Portugal. As a consequence, it seems to be pretty much how they left it. A nice place to live, for sure. It was lunchtime when we left the palace, so we popped into this nice little local place en route to Belem to have lunch. Alyssa had the cod, seems to like it.
How is it?
And I had the steak.
That's good.
Great little hidden treasure. Among other things, Belem is famous for being the birthplace of the pastel de nata, here called the pastel de Belem.
Trying the original pastel de Belem right here. Served warm. It's good. It is possible to get a better one in Lisbon, though. I can tell that right away. But I mean, come on, it's the original. It's good.
Of course.
This shady park is right across the street from the Mosteiro dos Jerónimos, a standout example of the uniquely Portuguese late Gothic architectural style called manual line. Our evening begins with another uniquely Portuguese art form, fado music.
Meu nome é Sá Maria, por teu livre pensamento foram de longe ensinar o teu livro.
The reasonably warm evening doesn't take anything at all away from the fantastic Christmas market at Rocio Square.
Obrigado.
Though it's a mainstay year-round, Ginginha feels pretty festive when you have it right outside the Christmas market. Cheers!
Beer at the beer museum?
What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
That is good IPA. That's the best beer I've had in quite a while. It's blocked by the car. So apparently this is a thing, like they get blocked by cars, which is what we're saying here.
With a little bit of time on our last day, we stopped by the Museum of Contemporary Art. It's a small museum and easy to visit pretty quickly. Many of the exhibits seem to be exploring perspectives and meaning, which I think we all enjoyed. Our final lunch before catching the metro back to the airport was memorable. Everything we ordered was some permutation of fish, prawns, vegetables, garlic, salt, and oil.
Unbelievable. Like super garlicky, amazing cod. That's phenomenal.
E o primeiro elétrico da rua rasgou as chinelas de ribeira.
Se sol cheira a terra prometida, procissões têm cheio nos paninhos. A taxa da viela mais escondida cheira a iscas com elas e a vinho.
Veio uma água furtada, cheira bem.